LPT in Wisconsin. This is something that's a hot topic right now because recently opening up in Wisconsin, LPT has made a big shift in the marketplace. And don't just take it from me. I actually have a business partner of mine, Rod, and he's going to be talking about his move to back to Wisconsin and why it's such a game changer that LPT is open there and what we're hoping to accomplish. Rod, welcome to Real Estate CEOs.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I had done real estate in Wisconsin, almost 25 years ago.
Mhm.
Moved out to Arizona. I've been out here for a long time, but I am moving back and starting up again. I'm going to do both states. I have a team in Arizona, but maybe eventually be a snowbird, kind of go back and forth. But I want to run my business in both states.
Mm.
I had gone back to look for because there's a lot of 100% companies out in Arizona,
Yep.
but I tried to find one in Wisconsin, and I searched and searched. In fact, I'm going to Eau Claire, which is probably 3, 4 hours from Madison, and that's where my broker is. I found 100% brokerage because I just couldn't find one.
Okay.
And then, like I said, I got what I paid for because I couldn't get a hold of anybody. I was trying to call them on things and just really struggled to get any communication or help or assistance or feedback or just. I think that even to get my check on my first closing was the lady went on she had to leave the office for a bit, and so then I couldn't even get my check for 2 weeks. It just
Wow.
it's like I got what I paid for. So the fact that there's a 100% company that's coming to Wisconsin that really has all the tools and support
Mm.
and brokerage, and when I reach out to them here in Arizona, I get immediate replies or immediately feedback. That I'm getting constant support, and even the people I've been reaching out to, like you or other people, even that I've talked to, they've been super helpful and providing a lot of support and a lot of ideas and ways to grow my business and market myself that again, I've been doing this a long time, but still I'm like, okay, I should have been doing that. Or again, I'm, a little bit older, so I'm not as techy or in the, social media world or digital. And again, I've been getting a lot of support on, okay, how to build my business out in this area, which is the way of the future. And I've, given my age, I've been kind of neglecting. So I've been seeing a lot of support from the company in trying to expand myself in that area. But again, I just think the 100% company is the brokerage. I mean, the business builder is something that just does not exist in that state. And for all the people that are paying 20, 30% of their check away to their broker every month, especially in these times that are slowing down, the fact that you can, take 9,500 away from your check instead of giving 3 grand away. If when things slow down, you either have to find a way to grow your business or to cut your costs. And I think this company is just going to, offer that solution to a lot of people that are looking for a way to maybe, increase their take home pay.
Okay. So what I heard you say is that right now in Wisconsin, this model is needed. The ability to have um, a flat fee, 100% broker, I guess, technically, right? When you're doing flat fee capped at $5,000, that's very much needed in the local marketplace. And the one that you did find, you said something really important because we were talking offline, but if you can reiterate, like your experience has not been fantastic. And you said the phrase, you get what you pay for. Um, Talk to me about business builder at LPT. Like for everybody who's watching this who doesn't know anything about LPT, break business builder down for me real quick.
Yeah. Well, as far as I'm fairly new, but as far as I, you know, am seeing it is, it's $500 per check. So whether you make 10 grand, 3 grand, whatever you make, they're taking $500 plus a 195 transaction fee, which is on every transaction. But you can get your client to pay for that too if you disclose it. But obviously the 500 per check, it's capped at 5,000. So you do 10 transactions. After that, you're paying zero unless you want to eat the 195 fee on the
Yeah.
transaction. So really, after 10 transactions, you truly are 100%.
Okay.
And I mean, I've been doing this a long time, and I'm not some super agent, but my average is probably 15 to 25 deals a year. Good year, bad year, slow year, whatever. That's maybe a little bit more sometimes, but that's kind of my average. So I mean, I'm always going to hit that, but so that means my next 5, 10, 15 deals are always going to be 100%. I am at 100% company in Arizona, which I left to go to LPT, and they were always $400 period. There was never a cap.
Mm.
So if I did 25 deals, I was always paying 400 per transaction.
Yeah.
But now, with this model, the more you do, the more you're rewarded. on top of, not even talking about all the stock options, which are a huge factor too. But I don't care about any of that. Even just the fact on the 500 model capped at 5,000, so 10 transactions is, insane.
Yeah, and
Or
let's talk about that too, because and tell me I'm wrong, but I'm willing to bet you also had to pay a monthly fee at that flat fee in Arizona, right?
yeah, but it was kind of minor. I mean, that wasn't a major thing. But again, yeah, there's no monthly fee here. There's no startup fee. There's no desk fee. I mean, there's no fees beyond it. You have the $500 one time per year. So, my first sale, okay, they're going to take $500 just for the whole year, and then my $500 commission split with
Yeah.
the company. So I'll pay 1,000 my first check or first closing of the year every year, the $500 plus my 500. But after 10 transactions, again, I'm just at zero plus the 195 fee. But again, if I disclose that or work that out with my buyer or my seller, I can get them to cover that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. I mean, so here's the cool thing. We've been doing that since before we had a transaction fee, right? Like even
right,
when I was first brokerage, I think it was like there was a 395 fee that if I didn't get my client to pay for, I was on the hook for. So I've always functioned in that world.
sure,
So the model being different, no sign-on fee, no monthly fee, $500 flat fee per transaction, capped at 5,000. That's great. And then on your first, third, and 15th transaction on the business builder plan, you're issued stock in a company that's pre-IPO.
right.
All really amazing things. And so in Wisconsin, kind of looking out there, that model is going to be disruptive for sure.
I
We're
think,
already starting to see it, right?
like I said, I mean, when I went back there, even trying to find a broker that was near the area I was going to be at, you they almost looked at me like I was, had two heads that I was talking about 100%, looking for a 100% company that everyone did 20 or 30% splits with their employees. So I'm like, okay, it's even if you're looking for it, you can't find it. It's not like
Mm.
the choices. So now that there's a major player coming in the market that actually has that, and plus the stock options, like you said, are pre-IPO. It's the fact that I'm getting stocks every first, third, 15th closing, 35, fifth closing. If you can do that many, just it's amazing how much other benefits there are. Plus, you get the listing, listing, what's that box? The listing,
Power
power,
back, yeah.
listing power toolbox.
So
That you,
that's actually what I wanted to jump into next really quickly was, all right, so great. You get to like, there's ways to increase or retain as much money as possible. And a
right,
lot of that's going to be get to a brokerage that doesn't charge you a sign-on fee, doesn't charge you a monthly fee, has flat fees like the business builder plan. And then there's also ways you don't just want to limit expenses, you also want to increase revenue, right? And but going back to limited expenses is, well, every single time you take a listing, you get the listing power pack. And we have videos breaking that all down inside the YouTube channel already.
right,
But you get that listing power pack. Well, that's a couple $100 per listing that you're saving, right? And not a couple hundred, several hundred, five, six, $700 you can pay for these packs if you're not at LPT. We get them for free on every single listing. So that's amazing. That's an expense savings right there. Talk to me about what you're going back to Wisconsin. You've already sold there before, but you're going back and you're essentially starting a new business from the ground up.
right.
What's got you most excited, and how is LPT going to make an impact, if at all, right? Like, how are you anticipating LPT's tools or services or anything like that to help you really hit the ground running in Wisconsin as you start knowing?
Well, just the listing power, toolbox itself. I mean, again, I had to go out and buy everything or do all the marketing and get all the flyers and postcards. And I mean, just the fact that the business card has their, picture of their home on it, the door hangers. I mean, all that's really kind of given to you for free minus the cost of shipping. I mean, that's, I never had that even here in Arizona. I never used it. So I mean, that seems like a game changer. Just all the marketing, the fact that they were a marketing company first, and you're getting all this print material for just pennies on the dollar, if not cost, is just insane. Again, of all the tools they're giving you there, and not counting, of the stocks and everything else, but just go back to what we said before. Even you were asking me about my 100% company out here. It's like they charge me $400 or $500 at the start of the year before I even make a sale. It's like, January 2nd, I'm in the hole. I have to
Mm,
pay $400 for the year. I mean, you guys are at least, I mean, there might be other companies out there doing it, but you don't take a dime from me until I have my first closing.
yeah.
So I'm always in the black. I mean, day January 2nd, I was in the hole with my company because until my first sale, I already owed them $400 or $500 for the year. I had to pay my that basically my fee for the year up front. So that alone right there was something I don't have to worry about the new company. I don't, if I haven't made a sale yet, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to pay them a dime until I do make a sale. Now, I plan on making a lot of sales, but the fact that I'm not on the hook with a bill before I even start is a positive to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm going to unpack that real quickly because I want everyone to be really aware of what that means in terms of alignment. Because here's something I told a friend of mine not too long ago, a couple of years back now, actually, who's just got her license. She's like, she's in a place where I didn't have a specific team to recommend to her because I didn't have a team leader that I trusted and all that there. But I said, hey, here's the really simple way to determine whether or not a brokerage or a team is the right fit for you. Who is in the best alignment with you? And the best alignment is somebody who doesn't make money until you make money.
Right.
That's it. It's that simple. Find somebody who, when you make money, is the only time they make money. Why? Because then they're that much more incentivized to make sure that you actually make money, right? Otherwise, because if they're giving you training and tools and support, and I don't care if it's just a Gmail account, they're in the hole every month that you don't sell real estate. That's actually a good place to be because they wake up every morning going, well, the only way to dig myself out of this hole is make sure Rod sells more real estate, right? And so
Right.
I love that because it creates that incentive and that alignment that doesn't really exist if you have a monthly fee that covers the cost of you existing there.
Well, just even with the sponsorship program here, it's the fact that and everyone feels this way a little bit. It's like I don't want to bother that person. Oh, I mean, and he's busy with his things, and I don't want to bother everyone all the time if I have a million questions. But the fact that sure, if you're getting a little bit of cut of something I sell, and you I don't feel so guilty on asking somebody questions every day, or asking for advice, or asking for help on this, or it just seems like it's built in that everyone's trying to help each other grow and sell more because everyone benefits. The company, me, the
So
sponsor.
let me point out something that I think is very important about what you just said. So I've been on record multiple times saying you should either be telling my friends, telling recruits, telling anybody, you should really be at a brokerage and one of two brokerages, right? One of two brokerages. A brokerage model where you pay a flat fee, you have a really like a low cap, and that way you can reinvest back in your business. Or you should be at a place where there's these things called revenue share, right? This tool called revenue share, where the people who bring you in are now paid and incentivized to open their playbook and answer questions and give you resources and give you mentoring and give you guidance and truly help you grow. Because in the traditional model, right? Think anybody's traditional Coldwell Banker or whatever, ERA, whatever. Like the top producers have zero incentive to help you.
Right.
Zero incentive. Now they probably will, but here's what I learned when I was working at a traditional real estate office or a mostly traditional real estate office. They did have a cap and they do have profit share called Keller Williams, right? But that's a whole different thing. Um, Here's what I found. I'd see these people, they'd present this thing, and I go, man, I really want to learn from her or him. And as soon as team meeting was over, they were gone. They were in their private office. And
Right.
here's what I learned. To the extent that it's convenient and that someone likes me, they will provide me assistance, right? Outside of these revenue share models. And
Yeah.
here's what I found. Plenty of people liked me, but it was hardly ever convenient.
Yeah.
Right? And so even though a lot of people liked me, it was hardly ever convenient for me to get what I needed. So when I saw LPT and learned, wait, I can name a sponsor who's going to get revenue share from me, right? From the company, not from me. Like what I pay the company, they get a portion of what the company gets, not coming out of my pocket. So therefore, they have an incentive to see me grow.
Hmm.
But I also don't have to have a 16 or a $12,000 cap. I can actually still choose the flat fee model, the 100% model.
Right.
It's the best of both worlds. I get to retain as much money as I possibly can, reinvest it back into my business, but also, and I'm going to use some I don't know, some specific language, also obligate somebody else to help me.
Right.
Dude, that's a game changer.
That's why I joined. I mean, I did look at, like we all, obviously I looked at a bunch of companies, and I know there's other cloud-based brokerages out there. And, I looked at them all. And the fact, I mean, this is the only one that offers, the best of both. You can do the 100%, you can do the 20, the revenue share 20-80% model, and you can go back and forth. If one's not working out for you, you're not locked in forever. I mean, I had tried one of the other cloud-based brokerages, and I didn't want to pay the 80-20 forever. And I was not a recruiter. It just wasn't in my DNA at the time. And I just was like, why am I paying 20% of my check away? And I wasn't
Yeah.
getting any support. People that brought me in really helped me out. It's like once they signed me up, it's like, okay, they were kind of gone.
Yeah.
And I decided at that point, I left the company, went back to my 100% company, in Arizona.
Yeah.
And so now that I joined up this company, it's like, well, even if I don't, like this other model, I can always go back to the 100% model. I can still stay with the same company. I don't got to change all my marketing and change all my signs and change everything else. I'm allowed to stay within the same company and just change my business how I want to change it, which gives me options.
And for anybody watching, let me describe what he means by that, and like why this is really important. What he's able to do is start on the business builder plan, no sign up fee, no monthly fee, $500 flat fee per transaction, 100% model, where you cap at 5,000. We've already talked about that. What he can also do is he can choose when it makes sense for him to switch to a revenue share model where it's 80-20 capped at 15,000. Still no monthly fee, no sign up fee. He doesn't have to change out and swap out logos or anything like that. He's just on a different commission structure. And by the way, he could have chosen that other one on day one. It's up to him. The benefits, why would anybody switch from $5,000 cap to a $15,000 cap? It's super simple. The stock awards are increased, right? So we get stock issued to us on our first, third, and 15th transaction every year. If we are a rev share partner, that first, third, 15 transaction, we actually get more stock issued per milestone. There's also an additional option called, or an additional award that you can get called Black Badge, which is on your 35th transaction, where you then get an additional lump of stock issued to you. And you also get $15,000 worth of marketing dollars to use for your business. So the other piece, though, to that is you can then start cashing in on revenue share. And so, if you're unfamiliar with revenue share, there's plenty of videos out there in the YouTube sphere to describe what that is, including one on our channel. Actually, a few that define the difference between profit share and revenue share. How does revenue share work? We have that all broken down on the Real Estate CEO's YouTube channel. And so there you can learn more about that. But what he can do is he can participate in revenue share on this model when it makes sense for him. And what I also heard you say is, and I've seen this a lot, is a lot of agents, they're like, that is fantastic. I cannot wait to get involved in that. But I'm not a recruiter. I don't have systems around it. I don't have any like additional time. I'm still learning to grow my business and get my real estate sales side of this up off the ground. Well, because LPT understands that, that's why the business builder plan exists. Because we know not everybody is ready to or even concerned about revenue share. And in reality, I believe, and I know corporate at LPT, because I'm not speaking on behalf of them, but the thing I do know is that, like, even today, we were on Real Estate First Friday earlier this morning. Real estate comes first.
Mhm.
But in order to kind of grease the wheels for you, for the revenue share part of it, is one, it exists. You can start tapping into that at any point and start building that. We have a lot of resources and tools, but then there's also a tool called the Recruit Assist, where every time Rod and I close a transaction, the agent on the other side is getting communicated to by corporate using the system. And it's really powerful. Now, here's what's great about that. Rod can switch to RevShare partner. And let's say after a while, maybe he's like, you know what, this doesn't really, I'm spending too much time on this and it's distracting me from my core business and running more transactions. Because by the way, I'm not going to paint a picture that like everything goes smoothly and you just become wildly rich overnight with
Right.
revenue share. If he decides that's not the right move for him after, that amount of time passes, he could just go back to that model where he's back to business builder, right? And then maybe he partners up with someone like me and we really start going crazy on recruiting. We're having a lot of fun. Cool. Then he can switch back when it makes sense. He can
Right.
actually build a downline, build a revenue share group as a business builder, watch it, monitor it, and go, oh, wow, I could make $11,000 in revenue share this year. So maybe at that point, it makes sense to switch from a 5K cap to a 15K cap because he's paying 15 but getting 11 back. The net on that is only paying 4K. And then the assumption is that that number is only going to grow past that 11,000. So that flexibility, what that shows to me is the insight that LPT has into how many people actually care about building revenue share. And let's give them the freedom to switch that on if and only if it makes sense. Whereas every other cloud-based brokerage that has that revenue share model goes, you only have the choice to do that. And you have to pay to play as though you were building revenue share.
Well,
It's
now
wild.
you've been obviously, you've been involved a lot in building teams, and I've always been more of a single agent, and I've added a few people on in Arizona. I plan on adding a few people on in Wisconsin, but to me, I thought just the fact that they can come on in 100%, and the split's okay. If some other company's already taking 20% before I even take my split, it just seems like there's less to go around, or maybe I have to take more from them than I want to make it worthwhile to me. Where this company, just the fact that I can bring them on at 100% and then work out my split with them, just seems like there's more left in the pie to work out an arrangement with a new agent or somebody I'm training, or if I'm providing all the leads or providing all the listings or providing all the buyers, that there's just more to go around versus some other company that's already going to take 20% before we even start the relationship.
Well, and so it's so funny you say that. I actually just put out a video not too long ago about how, like, EXP versus real versus LPT on teams and what that looks like. And one big issue that I always have, two big issues that I had when running a team at EXP. Number one was you had to the way that commission splits worked and caps worked for the agents. It was
Right,
like, in order to get a reduced cap, either 8,000 or 4,000 at EXP,
right,
you had to join a team. And in order to join the team, because imagine this, imagine you had a $4,000 cap on the team. Well, in a world where, like, hey, people are just trying to do what works best for them, why wouldn't I just have everybody join my team so they can all get 4K caps,
right.
right? And then they're not really part of my team, so I'm just going to not collect anything from them.
Okay,
Well, like EXP and Real, they don't allow that to happen. By the way, I think that's smart of them not to allow that to happen because people are just going to game the system. So
right.
what they do is they put in this stipulation where it's like, hey, well, okay, cool, Rod, you can hire Isaac onto your team and he can get a reduced cap, but Isaac has to pay a minimum of 25% to you on those transactions,
That's right.
right?
They dictate
And
what.
so it's hard to attract really top producing agents to your team where they might love your systems, they might love your leads, they might love just being around you or whatever it is. But then you go, well, at a minimum, you have to pay me 25% on all your transactions. Well, sometimes that causes some pause there. And then in addition to that, when agents do leave your team, they go from a 4,000. In my case, they went from a $4,000 cap to overnight a $16,000 cap.
Mhm,
And guess what they end up doing? They
mhm.
leave the brokerage altogether.
Yeah,
Yeah, somebody else calls them down the road and goes, hey, I'll cap defer you for 6 months, right? Well, here the person leaves the team because if they're going to leave the team, they're going to leave the team, right?
yeah.
I'm not going to pretend like LPT
It
solves all
never
my
happens. Yeah, that never happens.
yeah. No, but when they leave, they go, well, I'm already capped at LPT. There's no monthly fee. So when so and so broker calls and goes, I'll cap defer you for 6 months, they're like, I'm already cap deferred. And how much do you charge a month? $125, $85. Okay, yeah, I'm good. Thank you though. Right. And so there's no reason for them to leave.
Well, just like I said, and all your signs and just all your marketing, all the
That's well,
websites are signed. Your name's everywhere with that brokerage name already. Now you have to just go through everything and try to switch everything over, and just it's just just the headache of trying to do that. Also, if you're already there and you're paying the same split, you're on 100% anyway. Why would you ever leave? Right? Like I
mhm,
said, I left EXP because I didn't want to pay the 20%, and I wasn't a recruiter. And the fact that you have a recruit assist here, like I said, you don't have to be a recruiter. You don't have to even care about that world, but the company's going to do it for you. If you just do a
yeah.
lot, it's going to naturally, organically occur.
Mhm,
So the fact that, whether I want to do it or not, I mean, that's up to me, but it's going to happen anyway because they're going to do it for me.
yep.
And, if I'm 100% in, it might take a longer time for that to grow for that downline, but like I said, I might look at it in a year or two and go, hey, I'm missing out $11,000 here. So why am I not doing it now? It would actually reduce my
Mhm.
split. from 5,000
Yeah.
to 4,000. But so you can always just look at it and do it when it makes sense, whether you even care about that world of, agent attraction or recruiting. It's just going to be
Yeah.
part of the world for you, done for you naturally.
Well, I appreciate you giving me your insight, your breakdown, your planning. If you're an agent in Wisconsin and you are watching this video, and then whether you're Wisconsin or not, but specifically if you're an agent in Wisconsin and you want to take advantage of a new model that is not new, so new that it's untested. It is proven. There's over 10,000 agents at LPT at the time of this recording here in 2024.
Yep.
And we know that the model works. People are flocking to it. It's literally the fastest growing brokerage in US history because there's no sign up fee, because there's no monthly fee, because you get lofty CRM, because you also get the opportunity to build revenue share, because you get stock issued to you in a company that is pre IPO, by the way, which, like, I won't even get into all that. If you're really interested in learning more about that, or let's say you think, I really am looking for a team that's innovative, that's a dynamic model. And now I'm just putting a shameless plug out there for Rod, is that he might consider bringing you onto his team if you're in his local area in Wisconsin. But in either case, if you're a Wisconsin agent and you want to get behind what is already a monumental thing happening in your state, there's already tons of momentum. This thing is going to continue to grow. Make sure that you check out a couple things. One, in the description of this video below, there will be a link where you can book one-on-one time with me or Rod, because we work together on this in Wisconsin. And you can book some time. We'll walk you through exactly what that looks like, how you can get it free marketing from the company. I mean, this is real good marketing. Trust me, go ahead and watch our other videos. We break down everything there for you. But you're going to be able to get all that. We'll walk you through it. There's no pressure on it. We're big into just adding value. Worst case scenario, you're going to learn exactly what LPT is doing, what that and maybe it doesn't make sense for you now. Maybe it never makes sense for you, but you probably still want to learn what the model's about. And then Rod, how do I get a hold of you? If I'm somebody who's like, you know what, this Isaac guy, whatever, but like, I really like this Rod dude. He's in my local area. How can we learn more about you? How can we get in touch with you? What's the best place?
I guess probably just give me a call directly if you want. I'm more of a talk guy, but you can always
Okay.
reach out to me on Facebook too. If you do, under Rod Mohan, or I am under listofhomes.com is a website of mine. But
Okay.
I need to grow my social media influence. I mean, I'm not a big. I do have an Instagram page and all that, but I really I need to focus on that more. And that's kind of what you know. In fact, Isaac's been helping me with directly right now, and a few other people in the company. Like I said, I'm getting a lot of support from people trying to get me into the new age, which I obviously I
Yeah.
know I'm kicking and screaming, dragging me, but I know I need to open that part of my business. So.
Yeah, so Facebook, Rod Mohan, I'll make sure I put that link inside the video in the description, because there might be a situation where you want to learn more about LPT. You might want to join his team. You might just have a referral for somebody in that area. Awesome. This is the guy you want to get a hold of. He knows his stuff. He's been in real estate a long time. He might be launching a new business in Wisconsin, but he's not new to Wisconsin. He's certainly not new to real estate. And so I'm just privileged to partner up with you. And I can't wait to see how this continues to grow in Wisconsin. Any parting words for anybody watching that you believe they need to hear before we end this video?
No, I mean, like I said, I've actually worked at a number of companies over 25 years. I've tried a few different brokerages, and I think I did finally find home, to tell you the truth. And that sounds cliche and stupid, but it's got all the tools I need. It's got, you said, I can bounce back between commission plans. I'm not locked into one thing. I'm not locked into, which every other company has always been that way. It's like either you do it this way or that's it. And this company just has a lot of choices and a lot of options, and definitely a lot of support. I've been finding out just in the short few months I've been here that
Yeah.
I'm getting more help than I got on myself and any 100% company I was at before. So
Yeah.
it's kind of an eye opener for that for me. Just the amount of support I'm
Amazing.
getting.
Amazing. So if you're looking for freedom, independence, flexibility, autonomy, the things that we all got into real estate for, and we find those in our day to day, but do we always find them with our brokerage? Not always. Very rarely. And that's what LPT does. So reach out to us. book some time with us. Also, share this video. If you're in Wisconsin or you know somebody in Wisconsin, make sure they know about LPT in their area. They know about this amazing opportunity that exists because this company is just in its infancy, especially as it relates to Wisconsin. And we want to help continue to grow the brand, continue to grow the agent count there, continue to spread this awesome network around. So make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, because we're always giving you the up-to-date information, both on LPT and just real estate in general. We're always sharing great tips on how to convert more and all that fun stuff. So like, subscribe, share, and until next time, happy selling.